Will be problem, but nevertheless, we have to, we all stakeholders, including RERA, have to find the solutions and ensure that all the problems are solved. सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम इस देश में है कि everybody wants to make it quick profit. मेरा प्रॉफिट सबसे ज्यादा, बिल्डर हो, रियल एस्टेट एजेंट हो या बायर। रियल एस्टेट एजेंट सबसे देखा है कि यू विल नॉट एडवर्टाइज अनलेस योर प्रोजेक्ट इज रजिस्टर्ड विद RERA. My friends, builders, promoters, collaborators here, you will all agree that most of us collect post-dated checks or undated checks even before the project is promoted. Then the other thing. Real estate agents, I call them investor friendly, not the buyer, not the allotee friendly. 10 घर ले लो, 20 घर ले लो, आज 15,000 स्क्वायर फीट है, कल 20 कर देंगे, कल 25 कर देंगे। एक ट्रांसफर के बाद दूसरा ट्रांसफर। The real estate or the flat which should sell actually at 12,000 per square feet is actually sold at 20,000 per square feet. Allotee. वो भाई साहब कहते हैं कि यार देखो आज कमर्शियल बन रहा है, ले लो, और मुझे नहीं पता क्या रूल है, क्या रेगुलेशन है, वो पता ही नहीं। एनी कंसिडर My first request to all the stakeholders be today, be honest. Let's not be individualistic. Let's work together and let's make this sector efficient. Let's make this sector transparent. Let's share the information and let the information be known to everybody. Abhi, now my friend Sanjay Bhushan was mentioning quite a few things earlier. I'll just take 5-7 minutes because I think I must talk about it. Recently what happened was that one of the, I will give you an example. एक दिल्ली में प्रोजेक्ट बन रहा है and the case came to us and he said that, I said, why you come and you entered into agreement for sale. Agreement of sale is the crux, is the pivot of any transaction which happens. Because the builder says that what he would provide to the buyer in the agreement of sale. He said, नहीं सर मैं तो agreement of sale तो किया ही, and he gave around 40% to of the total cost which then goes to the builder. And then we asked the builder that why you didn't do the agreement of sale. He said ये तो आए नहीं हमारे पास करने के, आप इन्होंने पैसा दे दिया 40 को भी तो बड़ा सामान चाहिए था और बिल्डर को भी पैसा चाहिए तो उन्होंने कर दिया और इन्वेस्टर को रियल एस्टेट एजेंट तो वो पैसा लेके चला। Now the first thing is that in the act it is written, and why talking this is the pivot, because in the real estate regulation development act, the agreement of sale is a must. It not only must be executed, but it also must be registered. Now there is a safeguard for the buyer that he can give only 10% before the agreement of sale is executed, or otherwise he can take his money back. But here what the buyer says, यार दे दो पैसा आ जाएगा, it's a good project, I'll take the thing. Even if the agreement of sale is not done, he gives the money to the buyer. Buyer says, ये तो उन्होंने buyer उसने मेरे को agreement तो उसने buyer ने मेरे को पैसा दिया, मैंने दिया मैंने क्या करूँ? But the law says that no promoter shall accept more than 10% before agreement of sale is executed and registered. So he should not have given more than 10% in order to exit, he should have exited. And if the buyer was not signing the agreement for sale, then he should have returned his money and given it to somebody else. So, the knowledge is power. I urge through this summit to all stakeholders and especially the allottees and the buyers that please you invest 100 rupees in buying the book of the Real Estate Regulation Development Act and rules and regulations, and invest 1 hour to read that book and know that what your rights and responsibilities are. Similarly, I urge the builders to read the book and not to depend on their legal section to do their agreements for sale, etc. And so would be the real estate agent. Why I am telling the builders? I'll give you another story. There is a clause 9.3 of the model. Actually, the government has done a fantastic job in bringing this act. And they have also brought in the model agreement for sale, in which the interest of the buyers and the builders both are covered. There is a clause from 9.3 which says that in case allotee is under default, then what should you do? You have to give notice. You give two notice and then you say that the pre-termination notice, you have to give 30 days for him to cure the deficiency or you can cancel them. अब ये बहुत सा भाई साहब बड़े बड़े बैठा है, उन्होंने क्लॉज ही हटा दिया। उन्होंने लिखा कि अगर अलॉटी पैसे नहीं देता है तो वो इंटरेस्ट दे देगा तो ठीक है, पर जो टर्मिनेशन की क्लॉज थी वो उन्होंने निकाल दी, किसी ने देखा नहीं। अब जब अलॉटी ने पैसे नहीं दिए तो उन्होंने टर्मिनेट किया। टर्मिनेट कैसे किया आपने? आपके पास एग्रीमेंट ऑफ सेल में क्लॉज ही नहीं है। द बायर सेज इस वाइज अब हमें से इंटरेस्ट ले लो और मैं टर्मिनेट नहीं करूँ। नाउ द बिल्डर इज एट लॉस। अब वो क्या करें? इज इट लिस्टेड? Even the buyer builders must look into the act and must ensure that the provisions of the act are followed to the T. And if this happens, if we leave the act and the rules and regulations, then the cases before RERA, cases before the consumer division, they all come down. And they will come down to the extent of zero. Because if we feel that yes, we have followed our rules and regulations properly and we have not tried to circumvent them. So let's go circumvent. Now, three quick things I would say that I wanted to bring it here. One for the builders. Lake facing apartments. नहीं आता, pool facing होता, lake facing होता. Forest of 2 acres. Yeah, forest of 2 acres. Because the number of forest होता है. Forest का definition कुछ और है. आप कहेंगे 2 acres of plantation or whatever it is, tea plantation, acre plantation or whatever plantation. आपको जो भी एडवर्टाइजमेंट करें, please be realistic, so that you do not go to RERA or the buyer does not go to RERA and see compensation for the RERA. Covered area. आप सब जितने लोग यहाँ बैठे कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉपर्टी तो खरीदी होगी। हर एडवर्टाइजमेंट में लिखा होता है 15,000 रुपया पर स्क्वायर फीट। तो कितने लोग लिखते हैं कि फॉर द कवर्ड एरिया? नो, दिस इज सुपर एरिया। Somebody is voting 30%, somebody is voting 40%, somebody is voting 30%. We in Delhi have started taking action against any person who gives an advertisement or sells real estate units on not only on a super area basis, while he must do it on the covered areas. That's where the transparency lies. Because covered area I can calculate, but super area I cannot. So this, from where you learn this? You learn from the act, you learn from the rules, you learn from the forms like this. Assured it is. My friend Sajid said he has done a fantastic job in his branch to assure it like he is. Under the Act, you can only give benefit for the prepayments. If you do the prepayment for your unit or real estate, you can give some concession to it. But what is the assured return? In his area, my office, we get many cases that the promoter has given us 12% of your. Here's the Act. Please don't do this. If the concession is there, concession should be transferred. If you want to do something after the possession, you do, and that is your matter. But pre-possession is under the purview of RERA, and we shall ensure that the Act is followed to the T. So my second request is that to the builders here that please don't give assured returns, and my request to the buyers is that please do not fall prey to the assured returns. Virtual space. दिल्ली में लॉ है कि 9 स्क्वायर मीटर से नीचे का आप यूज नहीं दे सकते। क्या होता है 40 स्क्वायर फुट। अब 40 स्क्वायर फुट के आपको स्पेस मिल रही है, कहा है आपको बेचारे को नहीं पता कि 40 स्क्वायर फुट के उसको द पर्सन हैज ओनली 20 लाख ऑफ रुपीज और 40 लाख ऑफ रुपीज, तो ही सेज कि मैं 40 वर्चुअल स्पेस है उसको दे दो। और रियल एस्टेट एजेंट बोलता है कि भाई आज ले ले 20,000 स्क्वायर फीट, मैं 25 दिलाऊंगा तेरे को। उसको समझ नहीं आता कि वर्चुअल मीन्स नो वॉल्स। और कहाँ पे ये यहाँ पे है 20 आपका 40 स्क्वायर फीट है यहाँ पे। It is not allowed. What is allowed is that you can buy a share in the unit in the name of, if you've got an entity. Suppose you've got a partnership firm, A, B, C partnership firm. So A can have 20%, B can have 20%, C can have 20%, and D can have rest of the person. But A cannot own that particular unit. So it's the entity which can own the unit. So please beware that this virtual thing is a fraud. You can take a share in a unit if this unit is a partnership firm or any other entity. But you will not be able to get the position of the virtual unit if you buy that. I'm sorry because these things are pinching me. This is onto the heart. And if I don't tell people here, then I'm doing injustice. So, agreement of sale I've done it, virtual thing, assured returns, covered area. And the lastly, I would say that government has done a great job. And effort of the government under the leadership of our Prime Minister is to unlock the potential of the land. If we do not unlock the potential of the land would be occupied by the unauthorized people. And where 5,000 people can come, or 500 units can come, the unauthorized people would have to take only 500. So there's a great loss to the economy to the nation. So as Mr. was saying, that new Tier 2, Tier 3 cities are coming up, and that's good for us because the people are not migrating to Delhi, Calcutta, and Bombay. So we have to enable this Tier 2 cities, Tier 3 cities, and make catalyst development of these. And then we have to follow up the new initiatives which are there, like REIT, and we are making things for the senior citizens, and we're going to have. So we have to be innovative on the real estate sector also. Abroad, if you go, the people in the hotel sector, they sell the room. I can buy a room in a hotel and still, but then there is a proper entity which buys. So we have to be the catalyst, we have to be innovative, we have to think out of the box and bring the investment of this, and not only the domestic investment, but also the investment from abroad. And I would say that we should only go at the rate of 15 to 20%, but why not we should go at the rate of 25 to 20 to 25%? And why should we become a $10 billion US dollar real estate economy by 2047? It's all possible, but then we all have to work together. So I would end here, and thank you very much for listening to me. And I would once again urge all my different stakeholders, and especially the buyers of the real estate sector, to invest ₹100 today in buying the Real Estate Regulation Development Act, and also invest an hour in reading the Act and rules and regulations. And in case you have any difficulty in finding and you've got a problem, or you do not understand any provision of the Act, or if you suspect that the builder is doing anything wrong, please go to the concerned RERA and seek clarification. We have the facilitation counters in all the areas, and we will help you. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Thank you, sir, for clearly underlining that a transparent, accountable, and compliant real estate ecosystem is not just a regulatory necessity, but the foundation for the sustainable sectoral growth. May I now request Ms. Nidra Singh, Assistant Secretary General, FIcci, to deliver the vote of thanks.
In the interest of time, I will be very, very brief, but what an engaging and insightful opening session. I must appreciate जिस गाड़ी की से जिस तरीके से आपने अपनी बात के लिए वो दोनों RERA officers, that is really more than just work, it's more emotional. So with this, the perspective shared by our distinguished speakers and RERA regulators clearly allude that real estate sector continues to evolve in response to dynamic market demands and growing focus on sustainability, innovation, and new opportunities. I place on record a sincere gratitude to Mr. Anand Kumar and Mrs. Sanjay Pusureti. Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight and on the evolving regulatory landscape and the way forward for the sector. The collaboration between government and the industry remains critical in enabling a very conducive and a stable investment environment while addressing the challenges of the growing urban population. I remain grateful to FIcci office bearers, our real estate committee, our mentor Mr. Randeep Savani, our chairman Mr. Raj Menda, our co-chairman Mr. Vipul Rungta for the industry insights, but more importantly for the continued support and guidance that we get from them. We thank all the speakers who are going to share their perspectives during the day. Lastly, we would like to extend a sincere gratitude for collaboration and contribution of all our sponsors who have made today's event possibility. With this, I extend today's conference and the ensuing discussions during the day all the best, and request this vote of thanks to be carried with a round of applause for our distinguished speakers. Thank you.